And what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Welcome back. Formerly Nerds in Suits Live. We are now just the Monday show, and we're here. It's a big day. I don't get to have days like this very often, and I'm definitely excited to be here and share it with all of you wonderful people who are here hanging out with me on the show. Let's check out who is here hanging out with all of us. I'm going to give some shout outs real quick. Some Streamlabs and Super Chats have already come in before the show even started, so that's also very exciting. I'll be shouting those out and reading, everybody who has been so generous and wonderfully supportive today. But it's song day, new song day. I don't get to do that many of these, and so I'm very excited to have you guys here for that. I see Jack, I see Kyle, I see Phoenix, Allison, I see Ed, Kelly, Cole, Jenny Lawson, Kaylee. Good crew. If I didn't shout you out, it's because I can only see so many names in the chat. Thank you guys all for being here with me. I know there's quite a bit to talk about. This is a big one. It's a big day. This is the third single coming up from the upcoming EP. So I've got a bunch of stuff to talk about with you guys, stuff to update you guys on, developments, all kinds of really cool stuff that has happened. You guys have kind of heard me for the last little while, keeping you up to speed, process of writing these songs, recording them, of course, the schedule for the tour. This is the third song day. It's the third single I have released from the upcoming album. So I think the first thing to throw out there, and this is not really a huge piece of news, this is not the announcement, but this is something I've been thinking a lot about. So this first EP that you guys have been with me the entirety of the writing and the recording process, which, by the way, this is a really interesting thing. I was reminded today by Dr. Megs, that she had enjoyed the song Happiness since the early studio diaries when I was playing you guys like the early version. So I went and I dug up some of those old studio diaries. I've been doing them now since like last April or May, and it's so interesting to listen because I can see which songs at the time I was writing, what was I excited about writing, what did I think was going to happen with these songs, some things I was working on back then that have not really stood the test of time or made it. And it was interesting to me to think about the process, the whole process that we've all kind of collectively been through as I've been writing this stuff and releasing it and starting to play shows and getting back out there in the world of music. Today really does feel like, right now today, I sort of feel like I am thoroughly in the thick of it. Like I'm doing the thing that I intended to do, that I announced to you guys I was going to do a year and a half ago. I no longer feel like I'm trying to prove to myself that I can actually get this stuff out, or I can schedule things, or I can release things that I'm proud of that sound professional. I've sort of done all those things. I have scheduled things. I've done a lot of stuff now. And it's really exciting to see the responses to Happiness. People are really supportive of this song. It's really cool. I've gotten a lot of really wonderful messages, on social media, people talking about the song, they enjoy it, and that it's relatable, which makes me really happy. It's definitely one of those songs that the true story of this song of Happiness is that it was like June, sometime in the latter part of June of last year, and I had been riding my bike around a lot as kind of, it was the midsummer days of COVID, so I was trying to figure out ways to stay active that weren't the gym. And so I had a bike, and I'd ride my bike around. And sometimes during that period, an idea would come to me, and I would just record something into my phone, like a voice memo. We all have our voice notes. Any songwriter can tell you they probably have voice notes as long as their arm. And there's a real early example of Happiness where I'm sort of mumbling the melody, and it doesn't really sound like the song ends up sounding. But I do say Happiness, and I sing Happiness in that way that the song starts. That's on there. And then I kind of mumble it away. But the idea for it, and kind of the way that I wanted it to sound, it came to me while I was riding my bike one day, and I pulled over, and I still have that. So it was June, and I was writing stuff pretty early on in this process. David and I were working on the early stuff. Mostly we were reviewing old demos and old songs of mine to see if there was anything usable from that old stuff. And so this one night I was going to go over and work with David, and he texted me and was like, hey, I need some extra time to eat dinner. Can you come about 45 minutes later? And at that point, I had taken the idea for Happiness, and I had written the song. I had written the verse and the chorus at least, and come up with that. And I was playing it through, and I liked it. I've been working on it like a little less than an hour. So I was like, sure, I can spend a little time, hanging out. I'll try to write something. I'll see what I can come up with. And so I pivoted, and in about 45 minutes, I wrote Sorry for Tonight. And Sorry for Tonight's amazing because while Happiness, it's like a mumble track, the original version of Sorry for Tonight, and Kelly is saying I played it for you guys once in the studio, Dari. The original recorded, written version of that song is almost identical to the song that got written. It's kind of actually uncanny how close it came out. There's a couple melodic differences, one or two different chords, but I mean, for the most part, it is the first verse, the pre-chorus, and the chorus of Sorry for Tonight. So I remember I went over to David's and I played him those two songs back to back because I was working on both of them. And I remember he looked at me after Happiness and was like, "You just wrote that right now? Like an hour ago?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I could tell because David's pretty critical. He's a, very high bar, his critique of songs. And I remember he was like, "Good job." Like kind of like, "Wow, like that you just did this." And so I knew at that time that another songwriter appreciated it, and I was really excited about it. And so from the very beginning of the process, this was probably the song that stood out originally as what I thought was the strongest song. I felt like Happiness had the most potential, but it ended up not being the first one we worked on. We ended up working on Sorry for Tonight first, and the rest is history. That song came out first and was definitely the one that so much of this experience feels like it's kind of wrapped around. So, and then Late Night Love Song, which is an older song I didn't write during this period, I had for a long time, and I liked that song. So, we decided to go with something a little softer, but I can definitely say that Happiness feels like it's a different style than the first two songs. Rich Emery, who is the producer that I worked with for the second half of Happiness, sorry guys, I just got a text. Rich Emery took the vocals and the acoustic guitar that I had recorded with David, and he kind of punched them up, and we went in and we worked on the instrumentation for the song together. But all that stuff that you hear in the song, the drum beat, the bass, the synth parts, the slide guitar, the way all the timing changes happen, he and I worked pretty tirelessly on that stuff to come up with a version we both really liked. The slide guitar is part of it that I'm especially happy with. I think it adds a really different vibe, kind of a little bit more of a rock ballad vibe, but very much like a late 90s thing. I mentioned a few times that it kind of reminds me of like the New Radicals or something like that. Just has like a very happy feeling. Even though the song itself is kind of a sad song, it's that melancholy thing that so many of you guys have commented that's kind of the style that I write in. Upbeat, melancholy songs. I think it describes most of what I write. Pretty poppy, but almost always sad. And so yeah, I was always very excited to see how Happiness was going to turn out, and just how it would be produced. As a live song, it doesn't have as much energy as something like Sorry for Tonight because it's a little more driving and slow. So the recorded version, we had to do some heavy lifting to make sure that it was exciting to listen to from the get-go. And it was Rich's idea really to do the big drop on that chorus, where the bass comes in. And I think it was a great instinct. So anyway, that's the quick story of the song Happiness. And a lot of you guys are, saying really wonderful things about it and sending me messages and commenting on the video. There's a video here on this channel, which is a lyric video that I made. And it's funny, it's the first time I had done this before, but it's like a handwritten lyric video of me writing the lyrics to the song. And I had to go in and adjust every single phrasing with the time speed to make sure that it kind of lined up to the lyrics about as well as possible. And then I put this filter on it that makes it look like a, written kind of comic art or something like that. But I was happy with how that came out. So you guys can watch that lyric video on the channel here if you haven't already. Leave a comment. It's one thing that I always ask you guys to do. Commenting on these videos does really help them perform and grow the channel. And I'm really putting a lot of effort and energy behind the promotion of this song. So I'm definitely hoping that I will be able to get some momentum behind this one. In the first kind of 18 hours of this song existing, you guys have all been very supportive, which is very cool. I can tell you guys where it's at so far on Spotify. It went up at 12:01 this morning on the East Coast, and we are at 1,050 streams on Spotify so far in the first 18 hours or so, a little less. And that's, of course, not including Apple or YouTube or anything else, but that's great. That's on Spotify. It's a great start. Makes me really happy to know that people are responding, and it feels like there's more excitement from you guys for this one than there was for Late Night Love Song, which it's entirely possible that's me projecting that I was less excited about Late Night Love Song because it was an older song, and I think I put less, elbow grease behind releasing it. But definitely it's cool now that there are going to be 3 out there, that when people see live shows, they will have 3 songs that they'll be looking forward to. Yeah, which that's what every songwriter hopes, you know? So when you guys are able to see live performances of these shows, hopefully you will be singing along to more than just one. And John Wheeler says, cool. I thought it was legit animated. And Brandy says, Late Night Love Song is my favorite. You know, and I've definitely gotten that, message before. That some people really, really enjoy. Kaylee says, if we buy on Amazon Music, does that help you? You know, I think anytime you purchase the song, I get some portion of it. It's through my deal with DistroKid. But I do think I get some portion. There's it takes 3 months for me to see anything. But anything you guys do to support it, whether it's buying the song, if it's streaming the song, if it's sharing the song, commenting on a video, it all helps. You know, it's all just as an independent artist about getting your stuff out there and hoping people hear it. So yeah, this is the 3rd song. Now, the original idea for this EP, and I know kind of right now what the stream is going to be, guys, is it's going to be a little bit of a 18 months in review kind of idea. Not quite. There's definitely some stuff I'm going to talk about. There's a big announcement I need to make towards the end of the stream, and a few other things that I want to address for sure. There's some Streamlabs and Super Chats I need to read in just a minute, but I do kind of want to talk just a little bit about what I've been working on and how I anticipate this all going. So initially, the idea was that I was going to release an EP. The EP was going to come out. I thought it was going to be by the beginning of this year, but I mean, that shows how, aggressive my my opinion of what I was going to be able to accomplish was, and not really rooted in the real world. It's all done based on scheduling and availability. And David moving was an interruption in the process we had. So I had to find new people to work with, and that's taken a bit of time. But I still intend for this to be a 5 original, 1 cover, 6 song EP. That's still the goal. It's still what I'm planning for. The good news is there's a song I have called Still Be Mine that is I'm really happy with. It'll probably be the 4th single, would be my best guess. There's a group of songs, a small group, that I'm working on getting recorded versions done on that will kind of fill out the rest of this EP. And the plan currently still is to have this done in time for that December 2nd Los Angeles album release show, which is what the title, when you go and buy tickets for the tour, that one is called the album release show. There are some complications. My health at the moment is not particularly good, so my ability to be as productive as normal has been a little bit limited. So I'm still hoping that we will have a full album with a cover and everything ready to go by December 2nd. But needless to say, we'll be as far along with that as we are with that, and that's it's just what it is. So I have decided that I'm going to be calling the album nothing special and big and exciting. I think it's just going to be self-titled. I think it's something I had thought about in the beginning, and I have been thinking about it for quite a while. What do I want the EP to be titled? And I think it's just going to be a self-titled EP. We have 5 song, 5 originals, 1 cover, so a total of 6. The cover is probably going to be Hysteria by Def Leppard is my guess. I have some ideas for when and how I want to record that. I have been planning for quite a while to maybe look for a live opportunity and maybe put the live version on there. But obviously, timing being what it is, there's a lot of things to handle, like the music video that I shot. There's actually a music video for Happiness that has already been shot. So I shot it with Dennis. A lot of you guys know Dennis Zane. He's used to be part of the Collider team. He's done some Schmodown stuff with us. Dennis is really talented. He's shot a lot of those Schmodown scenes. And so the guy that shot my first video is in North Carolina and was a little bit preoccupied, so I was unable to confirm him coming back out here, but Dennis was available. So we figured out a concept that we liked, and we shot all of the performance footage last Saturday. We got a whole bunch of stuff shot on the beach, at sunset, at sunrise, and we have narrative footage that we really want to shoot. It's the whole idea that I have for the video. I've explained some of you guys. I've kind of talked to you guys a little bit about what I want the concept to be in the studio diary, but booking the guy that I wanted to book is proving to be a little bit difficult. And again, there's only so much time between now and then. And as I mentioned, my health is not, it's not in the best of shape. So hustling and running around real quick is a bit of a chore at the moment. It's harder on my body than I thought it was going to be. So currently, the last song on the docket that has been released, that there's a release plan for, is Happiness. It's the final one. I'm definitely super, super excited that you guys like it as much as you do. That music video will come out probably very soon. Working on that. And I'll be promoting it all this week, going on as many shows as I possibly can, and so on and so forth. So I think probably it's a good time for me to get into the big news, the big announcement. There's a few parts to it that I need to talk through. So I think I kind of just got to rip off the Band-Aid, unfortunately. Next Thursday, the 28th, which is the day of my show in Denver, I am going back in for another back surgery. An unfortunately unavoidable surgery that I've tried everything I possibly can to avoid, is happening next Thursday. And it's the same procedure as 2 years ago. I've tried to keep it together on camera because I really wanted to be as excited as I possibly could for the release of this song. So I really didn't want to let on what was going on. There had been a concern for now a few days as things had really started to go downhill health-wise. But unfortunately, I can't stand up currently. It's pretty similar to how it was last time. It's very painful, and I saw 3 surgeons about it to try to make sure that I could, that I was doing the right thing, and all 3 of them said the same thing. So the surgery will be next Thursday. It's a quick surgery. I go home that night. The recovery is fairly quick. It's just how it goes. But what that does mean, of course, unfortunately, is that the tour is fully postponed. Now, the tour is fully postponed to next summer. It is fully postponed to the month of my birthday. My birthday's June 6th. So I will be announcing the full run of shows and all of the dates very soon. But I can tell you guys it will absolutely be starting in June. It'll be June, July is more than likely. I may even add 2 dates. There's a couple shows that I didn't get to schedule that I actually would like to. But anybody who has a ticket purchased for any of the shows on this tour currently, I'm coming to all of those cities. So it is just going to be postponed by essentially 7.5 months. There's no avoiding it, unfortunately. And I'm just trying to do the best thing I possibly can to take care of my body, to heal quickly, and to make sure that I'll be able to get out there and perform and play all of these songs and have the incredible experience that I was hoping and looking forward to having. I know last week on the show we talked about I was going to try to kind of will it into existence, that I was going to try to do everything I could, and quite unfortunately the universe had other plans, and so there was just no getting around it. So currently here's some truth, some things that are 100%. Number one, people have asked in my life and in my family, who I've told this news to, what does that mean for everything that you booked? What does that mean for your down payments, your investments? What it means is that there's going to be pretty significant losses. Some places I was able to get full refunds. Luckily, a lot of the tickets bought, miles tickets, a handful of those I was able to refund. The hotels with advanced purchase, it's a little different. So there's going to be some losses there. There's going to be quite a few losses on venue rentals, deposits. We had gotten pretty far in the process here. So unfortunately, the t-shirts for the tour I'm sitting on now, luckily I was able to avoid printing, but I'm still sitting on 180 shirts of all different sizes, waiting to print them with the correct tour dates. So there's a lot of stuff. That is going to have a pretty significant impact, and that's not obviously including the surgery and all of the things that go along with that. So it's happening at a time where there is some cosmic reason why the world needed this to be the moment. Obviously, because I've been staying pretty healthy, guys. I've been taking pretty great care of myself and working really hard at it. And unfortunately, there's just no getting around it. So we will be postponed till next summer. Now, there's positives and there's negatives. The positives, of course, are I will be able to release more music between now and then. I will absolutely 100% be able to have a full album released. You guys will have been able to consume the full album by then. There is better weather, probably lower COVID rates, higher vaccination rates. Things like that will have developed, I think, in a pretty positive direction. There's even possibility, depending on which cities the Movie Trivia Schmodown is going to in the summer, that I can even maybe dovetail a couple of these performances to be the same weekend. So there'll be people in town already. That's why I have to get the exact list of dates to you guys at a later time. But this is not going to be a vague reschedule. This is 100% a June, July reschedule. So for anybody that's watching this and is wondering if you want a refund on your ticket for the show, of course, 100%. Anybody who needs a refund, I'm happy to send it. Just message me. If you don't and you want to roll it over to the show, that's also encouraged. I would still love to see all you guys on the tour, but I completely understand anybody who it's far out and you guys need to do that. I understand it. I'm going to work tirelessly to finish this album, to put out as much good stuff as I can, and to schedule an even more exciting tour, more guests, more songs. And it'll in theory be even bigger and even better and even more exciting. The LA shows are still happening. As far as I'm concerned, I'll be 5 weeks recovered by the December 2nd show and 5 weeks recovered by the December 5th show. So I should still be playing both of those. Obviously, if there's an update, anything that happens with the surgery, I will certainly let you guys know. But anybody who has an LA ticket, I wouldn't worry about that as of now. So what does this mean as far as my life for the next little while? How am I feeling? All those things. Well, true story. I cannot stand up particularly well. I'm kind of hunched over. There's some pretty tough nerve stuff going on. A lot of, pinched nerves in the back. It sucks. It's very painful, as you can imagine. So I'm, that's what the injection was a few days ago. It was trying to get some of that inflammation down, some of the nerve stuff to go down. Didn't really work. So we scheduled the surgery. Luckily, they were able to get me in pretty fast. So I go in next Thursday. Like I said, it's a quick procedure. My family's going to be here. That being said, the combination of these things all together are going to take a toll. So I thought about what to do. So many of you that watch this show are so supportive and just totally in my corner as far as how this all goes. But the only thing I could really think of was if I was watching this happen to somebody I was a fan of, that I supported, who I was hoping to meet on the road, I would hope that they did what I am doing, and that is to start a GoFundMe. I don't know how supported this will be, but I feel like it's a tough enough moment where I need some help, and I'm hoping people are able to help in some way. So I'm trying to cover basically the losses and the medical costs as best I can. And so anybody who's able to help, the GoFundMe link is in the chat here. Anybody can click on it. I will put it in the description of this video. If you feel like donating in any capacity, I would really appreciate it. And hopefully I come out of this healthy. There's no complications. Everything is good. And this is a blip on the radar that we all look back on. And it's, as I said to you guys last week, it's just a mountain to climb, and we all climb it together. And that's what we do. So in the meantime, what does it mean for content creation for the next month? I'm still kind of able to sit pretty comfortably-ish, more comfortably at least than standing, but it changes every day. So if it keeps getting worse, then I may be in a situation where perhaps I'm not able to make any content. Drew and I are working hard to keep up the action schedule. I'm certainly working hard to try to kind of keep up with Schmodown and do backstage and all the various shows, the Magic podcast, as many things as I can, but there is obviously a limit and a point where I'll have to start taking those things off as well. And sitting out to make sure that I can take care of my body. And so that's the big announcement. I wish it was a good, exciting announcement, but I really wanted to, wait. Oh, Eric, great question. The Stage It show is canceled. That one, I'm just going to be canceling the event and refunding everybody who had donated. Unfortunately, there's probably a version of me that could sit and play guitar for 45 minutes or an hour, but I haven't tested that, and I feel like it's probably a little bit aggressive I'd have to play the whole thing sitting, and it just feels risky. I don't think I'd put on my best show. So I'm going to postpone that one, and I'm sure there'll be another Stage It show. Probably I'll do it like the same way, where it'll be next summer before the tour. But yeah, that one, if you guys have bought tickets to the Stage It show, I'm definitely just going to postpone that. To cancel that and postpone the tour. Apologize, guys. All right, there's some Streamlabs and Super Chats that I want to read here. JD Domash here with the first one. This happened before the show started. Sorry I can't watch today's show live. I still wanted to send my congrats on the new song. It's really great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, JD. Always good to see you. I will be in our Schmodown study session tomorrow night. At least for now, I am 100% planning on doing that. So anybody who is a patron at patreon.com/Ben Bateman, you guys know we do those every single week for about an hour and a half. And that'll be tomorrow night at 5:15 PST. So jump in there if you are a patron, as long as I can sit. And even if I can't, to be honest, I'll figure out a way to do that one, even if I have to do it lying down or something. So next up we have from Cutter Hale. My man, thank you, Cutter. Big time salute to you, pal. Sup, Ben? Hope you're doing well. Happiness is awesome. It helped me through some rough stuff today, so thanks for that. Can't wait to see you perform live in a week from Saturday. It's going to be awesome. Hope all is well, and hope the back is good. Salute to you, sir. I appreciate the well wishes. I wish I was seeing you in a week. It sucks, and it's such a bummer that it's, so close but so far kind of a thing. That's how this feels to me in a lot of ways. It's like I was so excited to get out there and do this. It's like I wish I could even just play one, but there's just not really much to be done there. Kelly here with the donation. We all started this journey with you, Ben, and we will all finish it together, ride or die. I appreciate that, Kelly. We did all start this together. It was a big idea 18 months ago to get this out there and to write this album and release this music and really, put my heart and soul behind it. And it's not always easy. I definitely do put myself out there, and I hope that people enjoy what I do. And it's been encouraging that people say really nice things, but there's also the reality of, this wasn't something that people knew me for. And so people are critical sometimes, and it's not for everybody. And, that's okay. It's just, it's how it works. So the people that have been really supportive, I appreciate that. And if it isn't for you and you're a fan of the Schmodown, hey, that's great too. I also love the Schmodown, Not everything I do has to be for everybody, but I will eventually release the self-titled EP. Shows will happen. And what's really wild is this self-titled EP is already so close to being finished. I'm trying to find the time to be able to get in there with my, co-producer and the people who are doing the record with me to find time to go and work on that. But definitely, it's been pretty tough to do. Like, we've had a struggle finding time to do that. And hey,
100%, Utah. Good job.
Yeah, we struggled to find time to do that since obviously my condition has gotten so bad. I want to give a big shout out to Brandy, the first donation here in the GoFundMe. Thank you so much, Brandy. I really appreciate that. I know you guys support me in so many different areas that there's no difference between a GoFundMe and a donation, but this is maybe something that people who are not the core group here understand maybe a little bit more in my non-content creation world. So thank you so much for that, Brandy. But yes, I'm getting in there and working on the songs with these guys and trying to find the time. A lot of you heard Still Be Mine on the last Studio Diary. I want to go finish it. We have the guitar recorded. I want to record the vocals. I just haven't been able to find the time to get over there and sing. I don't really want to sing sitting down, so might take a minute. Which is, it's very possible that the 12/2 show happens. I just don't have the album done yet because, I don't really know between now and then how much elbow grease I'm going to be able to put behind stuff. This one from William Harold here says, your health is the most important thing. We are here for anything you need. I appreciate that, William. Thank you so much. And finally here from callsign #ladiesnight, John Lastrina. We got some rough times ahead, but we're going to be okay because we're family. Because we're family. Dominic Toretto, thank you so much, John. You always are in my corner, man, and I appreciate that. All of you that have sent private messages to me over the course of the last week, 10 days, asking how I'm doing or just sending your best wishes. I really appreciate that. It's been a tough time as this is every day seemingly gotten worse, and I keep holding on to an idea of what's going to happen next, and then I have to adjust and I have to pivot. So, yeah, but I am going to keep working on the stuff. The songs will get finished. And what's really especially cool is that I have 5 to 10 more songs that I really love on top of the ones that I'm already recording for this album. So I do think this one will get finished. And then I think more than likely there'll be another there'll be another release probably that as soon as I'm healthy, I just dive into. Because I really do think that there's another group of songs that I really like. And especially, it'll be really cool. I'll be able to release more of this stuff by the summer. So maybe when I go on tour next summer, instead of there being 3 or so songs that most of you guys know, maybe there'll be more like 5, 6, 7, 8, that a whole set worth of songs that people will know, which, that's a positive. I think anytime you go to see somebody perform, it's nice to know more of their set than less of their set. So that is, I think that's all kind of the updates. I'm trying to think if there's anything big and exciting that I wanted to talk to you guys about additionally. As far as the music video for Happiness goes, the biggest limitation right now on filming the narrative stuff to finish that video is my physical limitation. And I'm not the guy in the video, but just even scheduling it and being a part of a shoot right now is going to be kind of hard for me. So trying to make that happen and make sure you guys can see the video, because I'm definitely really, really, really excited about it. Let's see here. Kaylee says, maybe recording of Pieces of Us That Went Wrong in 22. I think so. I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs that I've gotten to write in the last little while, and I think it's a unique song that sounds very different than most of the other stuff. So that feels like a perfect late album track, the one that doesn't get released as a single but ends up as the 5th track or something like that. So I'm hoping I can bring that to you guys for sure. Let me jump back over here to see if I missed any others. I thought that I might have just seen another Streamlab, but perhaps I got them all. Just double checking. And I did. I got the last one. So, and then Kelly says, you have to finish my favorite. I know. Well, the studio diaries have been such an interesting experience because there are a bunch of songs that a lot of you in here have heard. You've heard in halves and bits and pieces that still need to get finished. A lot of the songs will get finished. The more time I have in a studio, the more momentum I have in a studio, the better off it'll be, and the more opportunity I'll have to finish a lot of these songs. So, hopefully while I'm down here on my back as well, I'll be able to record some stuff. Some people have asked me, what's the realistic prognosis on your health and the second surgery, and what does it mean? Well, speaking honestly, what it means is I have this disc. It's a bad disc. Unfortunately, it's herniated the same way twice. You have to hope that this time through they get more of it and it doesn't re-herniate again, that I do all of the necessary things to stay as healthy as possible and strengthen my core and keep weight off and, all the things they tell you. You hear your people say Pilates, yoga, all that stuff for a bad back. You never want to get surgery. Every surgeon will tell you the same thing. You want to avoid back surgery at all costs. It's a really tough thing to bounce back from. But in both cases, I am physically unable to avoid it, as I can't walk a block right now. So you kind of have to do it. And what happens afterwards? The recovery is pretty fast, assuming everything goes well. And, I should be back to doing most normal things within 2 weeks. The full recovery is more like between 6 and 12 weeks, but the basic recovery is like a couple weeks. So there shouldn't be too much of an interruption. It'll probably kind of fly by. And I will continue to be, constantly updating you guys as far as everything that I'm doing. I'll be home, probably watching a bunch of movies, tweeting about stuff, all that sort of thing. Allison here says, brick walls are there for a reason. They give us a chance to show how badly we want something. My favorite Randy Posh quote. It's a wall, but you will push through it as you always do, my friend. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It's a good quote, and I always spend my time on these Monday streams trying to kind of motivate you guys. So I appreciate anybody who says something kind or supportive in here, because, it's definitely certainly a time that I feel like I need it it just feels like a time that I need it. So speaking of which, there is something that I would really like to talk to you guys about. And what it is this moment in my life it's an especially difficult moment. It's an especially hard one that just I'm struggling with, and there's kind of no getting around it, right? I mean, you're hearing me talk about this. What are you going to do, right? It is what it is. But it's interesting, while I have talked to so many of you over the course of the last year about how do we power through these hardships? How do we power through these mental hardships and persevere to the next thing? How do you do that? Because whether it's getting fired from a job, a breakup, a tough health situation, losing a loved one, general depression, age, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, we still all need to be able to cope. Everybody needs to be able to cope, and you have to find the systems in your life that help you cope. I've been really, really fortunate lately to have a lot of people I've been able to lean on that have, improved my life, made my life better. And I had the realization the other day, a fairly major realization the other day while I was talking to some of you guys. I think it was it might have been our Schmodown study session from last week. But I realized afterwards that I have this incredible group of people. The study sessions, maybe there's 20 of us in there sometimes. That feels like kind of the average number of us hanging out. And I've gotten to know so many of the people in there, so many people that are watching this video here, whether it's the action crew or it's this crew here supporting the music stuff. I've gotten to know so many of you on such a personal level that I am fortunate. I've been, blessed by life to be able to be there for you guys and to contribute things that make your lives better in some way. Some of you are struggling, and the time that we spend together, whether it's a piece of advice or it's just encouraging you, and you've in turn been able to do the same for me in a lot of cases. It's incredible to have gotten to know a lot of the people in this chat. I've really gotten much more familiar with a lot of people in this chat here, and I just don't really know where I would be at this moment in my life if I had never built this community, if I had never started first with Action, then this channel. I would be relying on childhood friends and a couple close friends and some family. That's what I'd have. And I'm talking to those people. Those are all people I talk to all the time, but I'm so fortunate to have this group with me all the time. And the best thing I can tell any of you, because my attitude through this whole thing it's been, pretty stable actually. It's depressing. I'm disappointed. But at the same time, I'm also just, this is my life. What else am I going to do? I'm not a religious person, but I'm comfortable saying that I have led a blessed life. My health has not been great as I've been an adult, but I'm so fortunate. I've been able to be successful in things that I care about. I'm surrounded by people that I like spending time with. I've gotten to turn all the things I like into jobs. I live in what I think is the most beautiful city in the world. There's a lot of things I should be thankful for and grateful for. And so when I get really down and I feel like it's all falling apart, trust me, it feels just as bad for me as it does for any of you when you're having a down moment. But the best I can do is to realize I can at least choose to put one foot in front of the other. I can choose to want to feel better. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to feel better right away, but I can choose to want that. And if I choose to want that and I manifest that, the next moment, the next day, it will certainly be better than it could have been. And it's something that I have really, 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 Starfire just jumped in the chat here. I am having another back surgery next week, and the tour is postponed until next summer. So, unfortunately, refunds are available for anybody who wants them. All shows will be rescheduled into June and July. If you want to roll over your ticket, I'll be coming to your city. I would love to see you there, but I completely understand if anybody would like one. It is that choice to put one foot in front of the other. It's that choice to create something, knowing if you try to create a positive reality, even if it fails 4 times out of 5, that 5th time is going to do something better for you. So anyway, I don't really have the most specific pieces of encouragement for you guys right now, just because I'm kind of figuring it out as we go. But you're going to see me and you're going to hear from me, and we will be talking, and it's going to have to be okay because I ain't got nothing else. That's all we got. So I want to jump in here, shout out a couple people here. Streamlab donation just came in from my man Kyle, sending all the positive vibes your way, Ben. I know you'll get through this tough time. We're all behind you, sir. As always, I've got your back, my friend. Hope the surgery goes well. # Team Bateman for life. I appreciate that, man. Call sign the Gray, always in my corner. I really do appreciate that. There are a lot of really, really generous donations that have just come in here on the GoFundMe, and I really appreciate that. You guys are awesome for already jumping on this. Brandy, Kelly, Jenny Lawson, Krista Simone, Ed, thank you guys so much for donating. Incredibly generous donations. I actually have no idea how GoFundMe works, and I don't want to break anonymity as far as donations go. I'm not sure if you guys can all see the public donating, but I am incredibly thankful for all of you guys for donating. So thank you. It's going to be instrumental in my ability to come out of this, to budget the next tour. It's interesting. Some of the losses I'm taking are not true losses, because like the Polaroid camera for the VIP stuff, or the t-shirts, or the suitcase, or the PA system, that all is going to be stuff that I'll have for the next tour, but I'm still going to have to sit on it until then. So it's just a lot of different places. So thank you guys so much for donating. It does mean a lot. Okay, gotcha. So it looks like people can see it. So thank you, anybody who has donated to the GoFundMe, anybody who continues to donate to it. I do really appreciate it. It's weird that this announcement is coming today, the same day that I'm announcing a new song. That trips me out. I thought about waiting longer so I could give the song a bit more time to live and sort of have its moment, but I also was running out of time, and only made this decision to have surgery really in the last couple days. So I felt like I had to get the song out and then pretty much immediately announce this. So yeah, any questions anybody has, feel free to throw them in here. I'm probably going to end a little early, just sitting for a while here. It kind of gets a little painful. And John Patterson here with the donation super chat just came in. I appreciate your perspective, he says. Your analytical mindset and your honesty. I appreciate your perspective, your analytical mindset, and your honesty. I believe that you will achieve great things. Thank you. Appreciate that, John. I definitely try, and I'm proud to come to you guys and talk to you guys and be a positive, meaningful part of your life, and that any of you have this kind of excitement or support of what I'm doing. It's very touching to me. You never know where you're going to end up. You never really know what's next, but for me, I know that I'm not going to be done with this music thing, this first chapter, until I perform and go on tour and play these songs for you guys. I put too much time into it to not accomplish that, so nothing is going to stop us, guys. We will continue to fight and push through. Oscar Romo here says, Ben, the GOAT Bateman, minor setback for major return. Thanks, Oscar. I appreciate that. As it stands now, Danny Cost here. Much love and sending the best. Great song. I'm sharing as much as I can. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it. I really do appreciate that. You guys have been super cool about this song. I love that it's speaking to people, and it's funny how fitting the song is to what I'm announcing on some level, right? Happiness isn't about today, and you have to tell yourself that so you can keep moving forward. And I do think that the premise behind the song, and I think the first phrase in the song, is ultimately super relatable. I mean, who in their life has not felt that, right? I think that's one of the most universal feelings sort of ever. You're not getting exactly what you want, and so you keep pushing, and you have to accept that today's just isn't going to be that great. Cam asks if I have some friends or family to transport me and bring meals. Yep, I'm working with my family and close friends to figure out a schedule to make sure that it all works. Some people have asked a little bit about Schmodown stuff, friends and family, because we're still in the middle of kind of a whole tournament season. For the teams tournament, I'm going to have to work my butt off to see if I can make sure that I can do it. Singles tournament, I have already played and been eliminated, so that one is, the only opportunities that I'm going to have left, or if Dan and I are able to, get past the first round in the teams tournament. And if we are, we'll cross that bridge when we cross that bridge. That's how it is right now. One step at a time, one day at a time. So yeah, guys, I think I'm going to shut the show down here and get out of here. Thank you all so much for this. Please do me a favor, if you're watching the stream, leave a comment. Anybody who wants to donate, thank you all so much for your Streamlabs, for your super chats. For anybody who has donated to the GoFundMe so far, thank you so much. This is going to mean more to me and what I'm able to do than you can possibly know. Andrea just donated as well. Thank you guys for that. It is really going to make a massive, massive difference in my life. And it looks like I just got a direct donation from Phoenix as well. Not on the GoFundMe, but just a personal donation. So thank you so much, Phoenix. I appreciate that as well. I think that's going to do it, guys. I'm feeling excited about the song. I'm hoping people keep liking the song, and I'll keep working my butt off if you do the same thing. So unless anything changes, I'll see you guys tomorrow night on the study session, and I will see you all next week on another live stream, my final live stream before the surgery. Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate it. Love you all. Have a great night, and listen to the lyric video for Happiness. Leave a comment. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.